Hi, I'm Mr. Lee, and I'm a second grade teacher here at Junction, and I'm going to read Chapter 7 of Pumpkin's Story. Chapter 7, A Second Chance. Open it, Deacon yelled as he pointed to the bag. It had been 2 long weeks, but Derek was back with Pumpkin's updated braces. The Dodo film crew was filming everything again, and this time they had hope for a better outcome. Derek laughed as he pulled out one of the braces out of the bag and shoved it into the eager toddler. These are Pumpkin's legs. The braces looked the same, but he had done everything he could to make them almost impossible to bend. That meant Pumpkin's legs would be held straight in the braces, and the mini horse would be able to walk even on her back legs. But the unknown always made Derek anxious. He just never knew whether or not an animal would accept one of his braces, let alone all 4. He wanted Pumpkin to do more than just accept the braces. He wanted her to run alongside Thea and Deacon. They're going to walk with her, Ashley said. And run too, added Deacon. Let's hope. She handed Deacon a brace. He inspected it, and then he turned to Derek. Put them on, please? He asked. Derek agreed. Ready to give them another try? The 3 of them walked to the barn and slid open the door to Pumpkin's pen. This time Derek picked her up. She was getting so big. Mommy Unicorn is going to miss her, Deacon said. She'll miss her, but it's for just a few minutes, Ashley told him. She knew Thea would be upset again, but hopefully they would return. Pumpkin would be walking proudly on her own. Then Thea would understand that Ashley had been doing what Ashley had been doing the whole time. Ashley sat cross-legged on the ground outside a nearby fenced-in pasture. It was windy and gray. It was a windy, gray February day, but it wasn't too cold. Derek lowered his furry horse onto Ashley's lap and began to attach the brace to Pumpkin's leg. Deacon handed him the next one, then patted Pumpkin's head softly. Ashley could see his eyes, and he was genuinely worried about his friend. I made them pumpkin color, Derek explained to Deacon as he strapped on the last orange swirl brace to her leg. Ready? He asked. He lifted Pumpkin onto the ground. Everyone held their breath. Pumpkin looked around and blinked. The man was attaching those funny orange shoes to her legs again. The little boy was comforting her by touching her head so sweetly. The nice lady was holding her, and there was also a brown and white horse peeking over the fence, watching. There sure were a lot of people who cared about her at that sanctuary. That made her feel better about the strange shoes. Now the man and the nice lady were lifting her head. They stood up on the soft ground. Pumpkin's whole body gave a little jolt. Something felt different. All 4 of her hooves were on the ground. She felt tall for the first time ever. She looked around. The man and nice lady were inspecting her legs. The little boy with the wild hair started running away from her. She wanted to follow. She took 1 step, then 2 steps. Then she moved all of her legs faster, then faster, and even faster still. She wasn't falling or hurting. She was galloping. The wind blew through her mane and tail. She could hear her mom whinnying loudly in the barn. She started lunging towards the sound. This was the best feeling ever. She had to show her mom. She's running now, Deacon said. A huge smile plastered on his face. Ashley couldn't say anything because she was laughing out loud. 2 camera people followed Pumpkin, one to film the animal and another to capture everyone's reaction to the amazing news. Deacon and Ashley were in shock. That's what I was hoping for, Derek breathed a sigh of relief. But he had worked so hard on the braces. It was not easy. But it was worth the effort. And now, he couldn't wipe the grin off his face, and neither could Matt and his crew. The whole group jogged toward the barn to try to catch up with Pumpkin. She was running towards her mother. Pumpkin stood in front of the door to her pen. Her mom was on the other side. I don't think she ever moved that fast, Ashley said. Look at her. Deacon started running again. Thanks to his wild blonde hair and brown fleece jacket. He looked like a little pony himself, and his little toddler legs and Pumpkin's dwarf pony legs were about the same length, so they could easily keep up with each other. His black rubber boots hit the paved barn floor as fast as he could move them. Pumpkin took off after him. "I did not expect that at all," Pumpkin said. "I did not expect that at all," Derek said. He'd hoped Pumpkin would walk, or even maybe run at some point, but he had never imagined running immediately. It was a better turnout than everyone could have expected. He and Ashley would not stop laughing. "These are the moments I live for," he said. Thea continued to whinny. She knew her baby was nearby and something good was happening. She wanted to be a part of it. Suddenly, the barn door opened. Thea couldn't believe her eyes. Pumpkin was standing, and she looked so happy. The braces were back on her legs, but this time they looked strong, as though they were helping her baby. And boy, were they. Pumpkin was prancing around the barn as if she was born to run and gallop after a little boy. Thea was so thankful. That's what they'd been working on this whole time. She looked at the lady and the man and even the little boy. She hoped they could understand her gratitude. Ashley grabbed Thea's pink and black lead rope and slowly led her outside, making sure the little foal could keep up behind them. "Come on, Pumpkin," she said. This time Pumpkin didn't have to be carried. She could walk herself out the barn. Thea began to trot a little faster than Pumpkin, galloping happily behind on the gravel path that lined the fence in the pasture. Ashley could barely keep up. These two seemed so excited to be outside and enjoying a brisk walk together. Deacon trotted behind. Just two moms and the little ones with the stroll. "Not bad, buddy," Derek said. "Whoa!" The other camera people. He and the camera people and Matt were following behind. Pumpkin picked up a seat. She was unstoppable. It was as if she had been walking without a problem her whole life. 3 brown horses rushed from across the pasture to the edge of the fence. They came to a sudden halt, peeked over the little foal with the bushy white tail. Was that Pumpkin galloping along her mom? They couldn't believe it. "It looks like the other animals know," Derek said. "Everybody's excited today." Ashley kept laughing with each step Pumpkin took. This was Pumpkin's parade, and no one wanted to miss it. Ashley and Thea paused in a field of grass and watched in awe as Pumpkin galloped around with confidence. Both moms were so proud of their babies. Ashley thought back to the weak foal they had picked up in October. It was only 4 months later, and Pumpkin had made a complete transformation. From here on, it seemed as though everything would get easier. This was the best day ever. Pumpkin finally got to explore the rest of the sanctuary. Look at all those horses. They were watching her walk and seemed even more excited when she ran. She bet she could run even faster. Just watch me, she thought. What is this green stuff? Pumpkin started to eat it. But all these crunchy things under my hooves. Pumpkin pounced through the leaves, kicking them with every lunge forward. What are these tiny rocks? She galloped over the gravel path. The little boy who was her friend was nearby, and now she could leap over to him whenever she wanted. She headed his way. He crouched down so her eyes were level with Pumpkin's. Pumpkin gave him a kiss. "All better," said Deacon, as he inspected Pumpkin's feet. As if to show off, Pumpkin did another trot through the grass. "You can just see how happy she is," Ashley said to Derek. "It's like she knew her legs just felt better." Derek was still smiling. It was impossible not to. Pumpkin grazed in the pasture just as a horse should. He could see that she had a will to live and a will to move. That's what made his braces successful. He couldn't have done it without Pumpkin's determination and Pumpkin's positive attitude. "I think she feels free," he said. "She's able to be herself and walk without pain. Waiting can be hard, even when you have great results at the end. So even though everyone was relieved that Pumpkin was walking so well with her braces, they were exhausted. Derek, Ashley Deacon, and and the Dodo crew needed a rest after all that excitement, and so did Pumpkin. Although she seemed thrilled to be wearing her braces, she knew she needed to work up her leg strength slowly. This was the first time in her life that she had ever galloped. Her muscles still needed a break. The group walked back toward the barn. Derek began to say his goodbyes, but Deacon had one more request. The cameras were still rolling. "I want shoes," he said. "He wants you to make him shoes like Pumpkins," Ashley explained. "I can make you shoes," Derek said with a laugh. Ashley gave Deacon a big hug. Thank you for watching Chapter 7.